this thing like this? Why people choose to make me do this up? I want to do this up like this. I don't know why people make me to do it up like this. It's a new way. Yesterday, I don't know how I did that video. How are you guys doing today? Are we good? This is what I don't want, because very soon it start looking funny. I want to be able to read comment. Okay, guys, welcome. Shit. Come right here. I don't know why if people choose me to make this thing today like this. Let's wait for more people to do this. Why did I even have to go out of this product? Yeah. Everybody, welcome. We have about 11 people in there. I don't know why this thing choose to make me rotate this thing like this. Why? Let's see. Rotate. Oh shit. They no longer do this up like that. They want me to rotate. So I cannot be reading comment today. That what YouTube is trying to make me do today, Guys, I'm sorry. Okay. Don't mind my face. I have my fabric right there. Where is that chalk? Okay, I also have my chalk right here. Let me check it. You normally know how we know the right side. Something like that. You cannot. Okay, this is the wrong side. Right, so I'm just gonna go ahead, fold my fabric like this into two. When I fold it into two, I want to make sure that whatever I should have folded should be 1/4 of the hip. Welcome everybody, welcome. I know you can hear me. Hi, welcome everyone. These days, I don't know what is happening. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, say hi, please. Go ahead and say hi. Let's continue. God. I don't know why this thing. Need to just choose to make me do this up. Okay. So, can you hear me? If you can hear me, say hi. Hey. I've forgotten that instead, I don't know. Today is like I'm not okay. Do you think I'm okay? I'm not okay. So let me go to. I was using my. I was using my normal account, commenting, just to realize that. Okay, if you can hear me, welcome. I already welcome you with my other account. Welcome everybody. Welcome, Anita Mohum. I am the one. I'm the Amit, okay? Anita phone is still me. Hi, John. How are you? Okay. Now that you can hear me, we are going to go ahead and start. This tutorial is going to be quick, I hope so, and details, okay? So I have folded my fabric into two, right side facing right side. Once I have folded my fabric, I want to make sure that whatever I should have there should be 1/4 of my hip, then plus some 3 extra inch to it. I don't have 3 extra inch, so I'm going to go ahead and add that up so that I should have at least my allowance as well. Okay, like this. Now I am sure that whatever I have here is gonna be my 1/4 of the hip plus some 3 extra inch to it. You can see my coconut head. Let me focus on it. I say, let me focus on the this. You people should not be seeing my coconut head. So I zoom the camera a little bit. Okay, now that we are done doing so, the next thing I want to do is I'm quickly going to go ahead and recheck if whatever I have there is 1/4 of my hip, then plus some 3 extra inches to it. Okay, you want to be able to cut this up. This is a short pant. Sorry, I did not mention it there. It's a short pant. So 1/4 of my hip, round hip is 38 divided by 9. Hey, divided by 4. It's going to give me 9.5. So I have at least 3 inch right there. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that up. Like I said, this tutorial is going to be a detailed one because I want you people to be able to watch and create your own pant, your short pant too. All right, so I'm going to pin that up right there, and I'm also going to go ahead and pin it up so that when I'm walking on, I don't know what is wrong with my tongue today. Anyway, so that when I'm working on, it's not going to move. Let me see if I have the same thing and here. So what I have there is about 13.5. Let's see. I said it that there was a little bit, yeah, like this. Maybe the cutting is not really good. So I've just pinned that up. Now, let's go ahead and start. We are going to go ahead and start. This is the time where you're supposed to really focus, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a start point, which is going to be where the waistline is going to start. Here. Oh, the chalk. I've not even started. It's that chalk is wahala. Oh my goodness. So I've just drawn a start point, which is going to be the waist line. I'm sure that one is even going to come out. The waist line. Now let me take this other chalk is kind of very hard. Hey. Yeah, this fabric is going to be visible, so I can use any chalk of this one. I love that fabric chalk, but this fabric chalk is wahala. It comes out a lot. So I have just drawn a straight line, which is the waistline. Now you can choose if you want your short to be a high waist or if you don't want it to be a high waist. Yeah. More for almo on to a girl. A question more. Mommy, I agree. Do green alone. I'll go shy, mommy. Okay, mommy, I'm sorry. Did you move a video? Do mommy, I'm sorry. Okay, mommy, I agree. Do mommy, I'm sorry. Ciao, baby, again. A joke. But now, go, mommy. What one? Sorry. So I've just drawn a straight line, which is going to be the waistline. Sorry about that. Okay. Now you want to choose if you want your waist band to be 2 inch or you want it to be 1 inch. That's up to you. I think I'm going to use 1.5 inch. Okay. So I'll go ahead now, mark from the waist to the hip depth. I'm placing up my tape like this, starting from that 1.5 inch. From the waist to the hip depth, okay, 8 inch. Now I will go ahead now, mark from my waist to my crotch depth. To know the measurement exactly you'll be needing from the waist to the crotch depth is by dividing round hip by 4. Whatever you have, you're going to go ahead and add 1 inch to it. So my round hip is 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. Then I'll add 1 inch to it. I'll be altogether is going to be 10 inch. Now I'll go ahead now to measure from the waist to the length of this pan. I'll be working with 17 inch. I'll go ahead and add 1 inch to it for the hemming allowance. After which I've done so, I'm going to go ahead and connect it up with straight line like this, like so, like here as well. Okay, now that I have done this part, this is the waistline, here is the hip depth line, here is the crotch depth line, and here is the length of the short. What I'm going to do now is to go ahead now, I'll be putting my measurement, 1/4 of my measurement each. So I will take round hip divided by 4. So okay, let me do it this way so you'll be able to understand. So my round hip is 38 right there. 38, I will divide it by 2. 38 divided by 2. Divide that up by 2. Then I'll go ahead again and divide it again by 2, which is going to give me 9.5. Automatically, we have divided it by 4. So I'm going to go ahead, I will mark that 9.5 inch. I will go ahead and mark this 9.5 inch, but I'll be adding my 1 inch for my sewing allowance, making it 10.5 inch. You need to add up this allowance right there. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these points up with a straight line all the way to the waistline. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead. I'll put the crotch extension. To do so, what you can do, there are 2 ways I know on how to go about this. Is either you take round hip divided by 20, or you take 1/4 of the hip. Remember, I took round hip divided by 4. Whatever I had was 9.5 inch. That 9.5 inch is 1/4 of our measurement. When we are always drafting pattern, we draft 1/4 of our measurement, okay? So my round hip divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. 9.5, I'm going to divide that up by 4. So I'll take this 9.5 like this, divide it by 4. I have divided it by 2. Then I will go ahead again and divide it again by 2. Automatically, I have divided it by 4. I'm going to place it up here on the crotch depth line, and I'm going to go ahead and mark that point. Now, after marking that point, the next thing I want to do is to come here. I'm going to place from the crotch depth line, I will go up by 2.5 inch. I've gone up by 2.5 inch. What I'm going to do is, at this part, I'm going to go in by 3, let's say 3/4 inch right there. I'm going to go down by 3/4 inch. You can go down by 1 inch, go in by 1 inch, 3/4 inch. So I've gone in by 3/4 inch, I went down by 3/4 inch. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead, connect this part up all the way to that 2.5 inch I came up like this. You don't want to make it too curvy. Make it to look normal, because if you make it too curvy, it's going to look funny by the time you're done sewing. Okay? You see the way I've just connected it. Now I'll go ahead and connect this part all the way to that 3/4 inch, which is right there, which is right here. That 3/4 inch I went down. You see what I've just done there, right? Now I am going to go ahead, put 1/4 of my measurement. So here I'll be putting 1/4, starting from this 3/4 inch I went in. I'm going to put 1/4 of the waist measurement. So my round waist is 28. 28 divided by 4. I'm going to go ahead, take my 28 like this, divide it by 2, like this, fold it over, divided it by 2. Then I will go ahead again and divide it again by 2. Automatically, I have divided it by 4. I'll go ahead and place it up like this. So 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5. 7.5 right there. I'll be needing my 1 inch for my darts. I'll go ahead and add up that 1 inch. Now, I'll have to add up you can add 3/4 inch for the sewing allowance. I'm going to do 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. Automatically, what I have here is 7 plus 1 equals to 8 plus 1 inch, yeah, equals to 9 inch. I'll go ahead and connect this up like this to this point, to the hip depth line. I hope you're following up. If you're not following up, let me know. I will stop and I explain things again to you. If there's any place where you don't understand, let me know, because I want you to be able to watch this video, understand it, make yours, and all we are going to be happy together. After connecting this point right up here, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead and connect it to that 3/4 inch we went down. We have slant the front by 3/4 inch. Remember, I said you can go down up to 1 inch, which is what I have there. Now, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead. I'll be putting my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement, remember that we're going to be needing 1/2 inch here to join it up. So what I'm going to do, I added 1 inch, okay? We'll be needing 1/2 inch at the side and 1/2 inch here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark just mark that 1/2 inch here for my guide. So I'll put my nipple to nipple, which mine is 7 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. I will start from that 1/2 inch. That allowance we're going to be needing to sew it. So I'll start from that 1/2 inch inward. I'll mark that point up, 3.5 right there. I will draw a straight line like this, my straight line. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead. I will come down by 5 inch. You can come down by 5 inch. You can measure, go down by 4 inch. Normally, sometimes I will just say, okay, go up from your hip depth line by 2 inch, okay? 5 inch or 4.5 inch is good. So I'm going to do 4.5 inch for the front. I will mark 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch both sides. Remember, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch both sides. That is what I added for the sewing, the dart allowance. I'm going to go ahead and connect these points up, and I'm going to do the same thing here like this. Okay, now that we are done with that top part, you want to decide how you want this part to be. If you want it to be a fitting one, or if you want it to be just normal, okay? So for me, I always like my pants free, okay? I like it free, and so this is going to end around the top of my knee. So it's going to be not even on top of the knee, but a little bit more up. It's going to be, because what I have, the length, the total length I'm working with is 18 inch. Normally, my knee line is 20 inch. On the knee line, yeah, it's 20 inch. So, like I said, you want to decide how you want this part to be. How do you want it to be? A fitting one or not a fitting one? For example, if you want it to be a fitting one, what simply you're going to do is to go ahead from this point. Let's just leave this up. Let me show you another way to go about this. You're going to come here like this. From this point,